All right, so we were at this point, we were about to interconnect uh, our terminals. So we will just hover our mouse over this node, click on this part, and just remove your finger from the click, right? It's already uh, picked the starting point. When you bring it back to over here, you can see that there is a circular uh, zoom in sort of a transition that will appear. That means that your connection is now can be made properly, right? So you can click the left click of the mouse and that will establish that connection properly. You can move this part up or down just for the aesthetics, or even move this resistor just to make sure that whether your connection is right or not. And yep, so it is all in line. So that means the connection is like perfectly made. I'll do the same part over here for the second one, and that is going to complete my circuit, right? Um, the important thing in the multisim is that you need to provide a ground node in any circuit, right? So you need to specify that what is your ground node. So you pick the ground, and you know that your return node is the ground node, which we normally did in the basic circuit analysis course of uh, the nodal mesh analysis, right? So I'll place this over here because if it don't specify the ground, it won't like complete the simulation, right? So once it's done, it's a basic circuit. We need to like find some parameters from here. So in order to find parameters, we'll use these notations over here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick, I'll show you again. I picked the voltage source because I want to find the voltage across this resistor. So I'll just place it over here and when I bring it over the line or the junction, it shows me that's again sign of circle zooming in. That means I can make a connection over here. So my first connection has been made, and the next part that you need to do is that you need to always specify the negative part, like from which reference are we measuring the voltage, right? So remember in the practical lab you have like two probes to deal with for finding the voltage. So you have to connect that at two terminals, right? That is your positive terminal, and for negative terminal I'm going to add that to this reference ground. That will tell me the voltage going in this resistor, the voltage drop across this resistor, right? By basic maths, you know that that has to be exactly the same as like 10 volts, right? So the next part that I'm going to do is I'm going to add a voltage and current part, both of them, so that that will be at this point, and it won't ask you about the ground part, right? It will tell you both of the parameters, right? Over here, the voltage and the current. For example, the voltage will turn out to be 10, but we can just directly find the current going in the circuit in this direction, right? It also specified the direction, that in which direction it's showing you the value of current. So right now, my first basic circuit is complete. What I'm going to do is I'm going to view an interactive uh, run of this simulation and see what my results are. So as soon as I click the play button, the simulator will start to load and it will display me the value of the output, right? And you can see over here the time has also started. So right now it has passed 1 second and it will keep on moving again and again. But since the circuit doesn't have any transients or any changing behavior, what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop it over here and see my analysis because the analysis is going to remain the same. So from the values over here, you can see that 10 volts is across this resistor. There is a 10 volts across at this node as well because that's the same node. And the current that turns out to be I is equals to V over R, which is 10 by 10K. It turns out to be 1 milliamps. The good thing about this part is that you can visualize it with a graph as well. So if you go into the graphical mode, I would prefer to split the screen so that we can see both side by side, right? So this is my graphical part. So over here, it shows me three different parameters that I've added over here, right? The first one is voltage with a green. That's your green. That's the voltage, right? The second one is voltage with a blue. So that's your voltage. That's blue. And the third one is dotted line, and that's the current, right? So for current, it's using a dotted line. So over here, we have on the y-axis two different axes. Here we have voltage and here we have current. So when you place your mouse over here in this part and you scroll your mouse, it's going to change the y-axis setting. You can see over here, the time is going to expand or compress, right?